draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No-name nuisance. Who's in a bedroom? Who's in a brand new cuneiform? Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I left my means of being.
Well, there's a new building set to open adjacent to us to the south, but for now they're still playing football at the Georgia Dome, and that's where we're located here in downtown Atlanta. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Redskins and the Atlanta Falcons. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Gun. They'll look to throw. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's caught by Tammy. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
We got three, fellas. We got three. All right, here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And complete on the right side. It's Tammy. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. They'll get 32 yards there. And it'll be first down Atlanta.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And here's Lewis. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards.
Brandon, in our meeting with the coaches prior to this game, we heard them talk about the opportunity for the deep pass. They've got a receiver who can sprint out wide. They wanted to make sure they had a chance to get it to him and loosen up the defense.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a Washington first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's third down. Yards to go. It's third down. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 40. He's at the 30. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on the ground they go with a running back. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nate Orchard. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They shakes him off. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. Great protection. That is caught inside the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Philip Supernall from 4 yards out. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
And to give this time to the tailback. And an alley to run. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll be first down, Redskins.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go now.
Now a carry for Lorenzo Taliaferro. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And they'll go on the ground. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick here is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes really a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here we go now. Green
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. And this is going to be incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. And fourth down coming up. Here's Will Monday now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
To throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. So they're operating in the red zone. Beckham, the lone receiver, right.
Here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for someone, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there, but yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. They come out here in the eye. So now it's first and goal. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And they still need 10 yards here to find pay dirt. It's second and goal from the 10. And a nice pick up there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, you have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
Now, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is third and goal. from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This will be taken about the 12. They juked him. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Let's go!
They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme, there. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's
go. I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Now back to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Got three down. All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught, left side, Tamme. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Now Mike Nugent for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. He'll look to throw, and he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Odell Beckham, 79 yards. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked somewhere else, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
If they get the young quarterback going and that defense continues to live up to expectations, they can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Not only was that a 3-and-out, it was their 3rd straight incompletion on this drive, and they didn't even think about trying to run the football. Now they have to give it up.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Play fake here on first down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. It's a gain of 20 that time. And it'll be first down, Washington. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Back to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll come out in the pistol. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Beckham, the lone receiver right. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. To throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better.
And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run the option left. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On third down, he'll drop to throw. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
All I know, partner, is that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. And yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. It's what we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll power his way up near the 25. That second down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's something we haven't seen much of in this game, a really nice run. Do they decide to come back with it, or was that just a little flash, and maybe they continue to try and throw the ball?
Third down now following the run. They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting Like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Yeah, this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there, but guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught right side. It's Lewis. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Ah, yes, this is where the expression staying ahead of the chains comes into play. Good runs like that one set you up well for 3rd down.
2nd down and just 1. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Another pistol look here. 1st and goal here from the 9. And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
He'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And Nugent puts it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it first and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got time. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you're facing intentional grounding call.
Looking left side, and it's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
And his kick is indeed good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And here's Lewis. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down following the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And on the ground they go with the running back. And a nifty little deke juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
They run with Taliaferro. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Again, they run with Taliaferro. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
We just saw an example of what we talk about all the time when we meet with coaches. They want that hidden yardage to come to the front when they throw the football. Throw it, catch it, and then pick up more yardage after the catch.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They come up in an offset eye. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for it. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Finding time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Nugent puts it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Backing up. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, the one he was looking for. And now it's third down.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
Let's go! Green, 30.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 59 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And now here's a carry heading left. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, or remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got room. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And they'll go on the ground. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask, 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.